Hello, everyone. Well, it's another day, and today is a special day in the year. It's Day of Her Grace. Day of Her Grace is a goddess day. Day of Her Grace celebrates goddess, and it celebrates the goddess's forgiveness, her very deep forgiveness for us, her children, and also her asking us for forgiveness for the hurts that we've been through. We ask for forgiveness, and we forgive our heavenly mother for any of the rough thing patches in our lives that were difficult for us, that may have been because of goddess, because everything's because of goddess, right? Everything in the whole universe Everything in the whole universe is because of goddess. So because everything in the whole universe is because of goddess, then we need to forgive her for the things that go wrong in our lives. We need to forgive her for the heartache and the hardship, and forgive her deeply in our souls. That's what Day of Her Grace is about. It's about Goddess extending her forgiveness to us for the things we've done wrong, and us forgiving her for our hardships and our heartaches. And also, this is a good day. Day of Her Grace is a good day to forgive others. Can we think of someone who actually needs forgiveness really badly? I think it's Trump. Trump needs forgiveness really badly. But will we give it to him? I don't know. I don't know. Because he's the leader of the land, right? He should be more responsible. He should be considered more responsible than the average Joe. Because he's a world leader, because he's a world leader, and because he's got more power than the average Joe, he should be held to a higher state of account. And maybe forgiving Trump isn't the best thing for him, because Trump really needs to learn some lessons. He needs to learn some lessons, and he needs to learn the lessons badly. There's plenty of other people who want to learn lessons and don't have the opportunity to learn the lessons. But Trump has that opportunity. Trump is in a special position of all the people here on earth. He's in a special position and has a special opportunity to learn lessons. So maybe it's better not to forgive Trump, because then he'll learn his lesson. See, get that? See how that works? If you don't forgive someone, sometimes it's better for them, because they need to learn some lessons, and they need to be taught. And someone like Trump he shouldn't be in a position of power, okay? One thing. He shouldn't be in a position of power because he's like a madman. He's totally insane, and he doesn't deserve to be in power. But at the same time, he's a danger to everyone else while he's in power. So we need to figure out, what are we going to do about this? Oh my gosh. This man is dangerous, and he's in power. What are we going to do? Well, if we choose not to forgive him, maybe he can learn his lesson. But does he really deserve to learn a lesson? Does he really deserve to learn a lesson when there's so many people like him that never get a chance to learn a lesson? Well, if we could teach one person, I suppose that's something. But no, I don't think he deserves. I don't think he deserves to learn a lesson. So, Trump is best ignored, and the more we ignore him, the more he recedes into the background and doesn't have the same clout or attention getting as he used to. So that's the story of Trump and whether we should forgive him. Does that mean that of all the people in our lives, we shouldn't forgive any of them? No, that is not the case. That is not the case. We should forgive people, but you have to take it on a case by case basis. It's just like when you're dealing with people, it's always on a case-by-case basis. It's just like the deal with George Floyd and the deal with the reports of police officers using unnecessary force. Some of the claims were legit and some of them weren't. And why would any of the claims not have been legit? Because people are mad. When something happens to their loved one, they're mad and they want revenge immediately and they want justice immediately, or their version of justice. But who knows whether that is really the case or not. Just because somebody they might have been a bad guy and the cop could have just been doing his job. So, and not have used excessive force, but the person wound up dead anyway because they were shooting at the police, for example. And then somebody who's related to them is mad, like their mother is mad, or something like that. Their mother or their sister, somebody is mad and gets on TV and starts pounding the police officers that were involved, and really their loved one was to blame. So you have to take things on a case-by-case basis when it comes to forgiveness. Some people deserve forgiveness, and some people are in sort of a position of power that they don't deserve forgiveness, and they don't deserve a special chance to learn their lesson. Trump has been treated very specially. Of all of the narcissistic people out there, he's got a special privilege to be in power. That's a special privilege. Obviously, he doesn't deserve it, but the real question is, does he deserve to learn his lesson? And the short answer is, no, he doesn't deserve to learn his lesson. But the long answer is, if one person can be educated, then isn't it worth it to educate one person? But there's so many other people who need to be educated who aren't being educated. There's so many people that need an education and haven't been educated. So Trump is very, very blessed in a very special position to learn his lesson. So how can he learn his lesson? Well, the only thing that will teach him is if he's rejected across the board by almost everyone. If everyone rejects him, then he's learned his lesson. Pretty wild, huh? Wild stuff. If everybody rejects him and turns their backs on him, he's learned his lesson. So what is the newest, latest, hottest person that we're going to replace Trump with? I don't know. I don't know what's around the corner, but I'm sure it's going to be a wild ride. Trump is winding down. He's getting old, and he's losing his edge. And so he won't be, he can't go for more than 2 terms anyway, so he's almost about to lose his power. But there will be a peaceful transfer of power. Believe me, there will be. So people in your lives, take them on a case-by-case basis and decide whether they deserve to be forgiven or not, and whether it would be better for them not to be forgiven, because I'm going to forgive most of the people in my life. But there's a few people who are bad eggs that I'm not going to forgive. I'm not going to forgive them. So you decide. You get to decide who to forgive and who not to forgive, and whether they need forgiveness more or whether they need to learn their lesson more. And then it's not up to you to teach them a lesson. You leave that in Goddess's hands. So that's not the same thing as forgiveness, all right? Forgiveness is where you excuse a person for everything they've done across the board, no questions asked. And they're free after that. Or you can leave it in Goddess's hands but still not forgive the person. And let her take care of it. But that's not the same thing as forgiveness. It's not the same thing. Leaving it in Goddess's hands is not the same thing as forgiveness. So if you leave somebody in Goddess's hands, in her most capable hands, then, and choose not to forgive them, then they will learn their lesson and everybody will be happy. Everyone will be better off for it. So that's it. And you guys have a great day of her grace. And our next holiday, if you want to know what the holidays are ahead of us, the next holiday comes in September. And in September, we celebrate the Harvest Moon Festival. So until then, I'm not going to be gone that long. I'm going to do a video. I'll do a video. And, but you should know about the holidays, what's coming up, the holidays. This summer, learn something new, learn a new skill, teach yourself something, and achieve greatness. And I'll see you next time.